Hello and good morning and welcome to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. The birds are aflutter on this spring day. Oh, it is just as peaceful as can be, and of course we wouldn't have it any other way for our 150 plus rescued residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary as they enjoy yet another wonderful day of living wild at heart thanks to the support of people like you who are filing in for this live post. You want to see what Alyssa's up to today, you want to see what Leo's up to today, and you're going to see a handful of other rescues on today's live post. But there's rescued Lilager Alyssa taking in the sweet although rather, it's also a cooler day, a spring Minnesota air there. We are, looks like the rain is now behind us, and we're going to be kind of making our way into some more sunnier days in the coming days in northern Minnesota. So I'm looking forward to it. I know a cat like Alyssa, this mild weather is, honestly, that's just right for her. Leo also is up here on his platform. Of course, Alyssa is listening to, I think maybe some caretaker activity up near the building. But welcome, everyone. If you are just joining us, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I can already tell it's one of those days with Facebook where I can see about 30 of you are watching, hoping to elevate those numbers. But I cannot see your comments just yet. And usually so many of you are great about kind of filing in, saying hello, saying, hi to the cat on screen, what have you. But I'm not seeing any of that today. So if you are watching, give me a comment. Give us a shout here. Always love the conversation that we get to have on these lives. I never like for it to be a one-way street. A perfect live for me, of course, is when the cats are up and active doing something, but it's when we get to talk with one another and have that conversation and learn together. So they'll come around, or rather Facebook will come around, Miss Alyssa. But we are here in our Wild Woodlands area. You guys know Wild Woodlands, that's where a lot of our rambunctious tigers are, so not just Miss Alyssa and Leo up in front. You have Thor Jr. right across the way. He counts as one of those rambunctious tigers. You have Nova, who is certainly one of those rambunctious tigers. Mr. Dash, well, he's a cub at heart and will always be our rambunctious little tiger. And let's see, who else? And, well, of course, Miss Indy. Indy, maybe queen of the rambunctious tigers. So a little bit more of kind of a different mood with these two cats. Maybe not so much rambunctiousness, but just pure relaxation. There are my comments. Hey, Carol Hendricks saying, happy Wednesday, Judson. That is a very big rock. What a great place to hang out. It's their very own Pride Rock, Carol, if you will. I've always loved this cave structure that has been in this yard here in Wild Woodlands, and exactly that. What a big, beautiful rock, and their very own Pride Rock. Nadia B saying, hello. Hey, Nadia. Tanya Toner saying, shared this post. Doris Hellman with 50 stars saying, hi, finally seeing you live again. I'd love to see Lupita sometime. Doris, most definitely. I love the lovely Lupita, and I would be more than happy to feature that spicy gal on a live. Betty Winter saying, these two have such sweet souls, don't they? Kind of connects back to the level of chillness that I was attributing to Miss Alyssa and Leo, and though they have their chill moments, but the more rambunctious tigers across the way. Here's Mr. Shazam doing some trotting and plotting. And certainly a cat that's excluded from the rambunctious members of Wild Woodlands here. Shazam, one of our oldest rescues. Looks like he's just enjoying his morning. Kind of plotting along here. Curious if he's going to come over and say hi to me. Oh, I think he just noticed that I'm here, and he says, well, I'm going to be going the opposite direction here. Look at that, about 60 people joining us today. Happy Wednesday. Hope all is well. Today is Wednesday, but you might have noticed a e-newsletter that was delivered to you this morning if you're signed up to our TWS e-news. And that e-newsletter had some fun information in it, particularly highlighting a new merge here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. That's right, a new friendship has been struck here. Cupid's arrow has landed, and, well, it's landed on rescued serval Rio and rescued bobcat Brianna. It's been a long time coming, us trying to find a good partner for Miss Brianna, and I think that goes for Rio as well. I know that you guys know at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we never forced companionship on any of our rescues, but those are two cats who did live with other cats, who did have a companion. That for Rio, it would be Nico the bobcat. For Brianna, it would be Stelter the bobcat. And Rio and Nico being kind of one of those odd couples you guys remember of the interspecies relationships we say. And so Mr. Rio not having Nico and Miss Brianna not having Mr. Stelter, they're... I thought Leah was going to be singing a song there, but it was just a big lion yawn. But nonetheless, I'll be able to expand on that and get excited about this new sanctuary friendship that's happening. And of course, applaud the caretaking staff. A lot of work went into it. A lot of kind of trials and misses with potential friends for Brianna until it was just quite a shoo-in relationship when they were merged. It went from kind of 0 to 60 in the best way of them immediately having cuddle puddles in the same den box, pretty much inhabiting the same spots in their habitat wherever they went. So it's been really kind of wonderful to see. So we'll be expanding on that during the live as well. A little bit of a lion interaction between these two. I think Leo was just drinking some rainwater that had pooled up kind of in the top of his cave there. Yeah, I see you licking your chops, Mr. Goofy. About 62 of you watching, and I mentioned earlier, it's just one of those days, but Facebook is having trouble showing your comments, but I'm still elated to have about 60 of you with us today, and Miss Alyssa, Mr. Leo are taking in yet another wonderful day of living wild at heart here, courtesy of your support, of course. We're in our Wild Woodlands area. I saw Shazam for a second. Of course, he saw me and then went inside to see what his caretakers are doing in the building. I do have Dimitri and Griffin across the way who I'd like seeing, as well as maybe Henry and Haley if they're out and about in their yard. Getting some bobs in, mixed in with some of our big cat rescues here would be good. So I see Mr. Dimitri sitting nice and purdy up on his platform. So let's go walk across the way here. And as you can see, we are pretty much fully grown out here in terms of, kind of leaf growth and, starting to see various little wildflowers pop up. I can even tell we have mowed. So we're kind of really breaking the seal, so to speak. There's even dandelions. Kind of breaking the seal, so to speak, on summer. And the rain that we've had the past 2 days, boy, I'm going to just blink and this grass probably by the end of the week is going to be ready to be mowed again, Mr. Griffin. Well, speaking of summer, I see a sign of summer right down here. Mr. Griffin Tiger, what in the world? Your pools are already out. Now, favorite sign of summer here at the Wildcat Sanctuary is pool season. And I know, Mr. Griffin, you're going to take any opportunity to come and say hi to me, and I appreciate that, even if it means getting one of your tiger feet wet. There's another kind of junket of comments popping through here. Paula Johnson saying, I'm here. Hey, Paula. Great speaking with you yesterday, too. Barbara Stockley saying, lovely. Oh, aren't they, Barbara? Tanya Toner, awesome news for Brianna and Rio, isn't it? Isn't it? These, the sanctuary pairs that we're able to have here. I mean, I'm sandwiched in between two pairs. It's Henry and Haley over here, Mr. Dimitri and Griffin across the way. We're here, but if we're offering companionship and they're willing to accept it, it's of those cats. So. And then knowing that Brianna lived with a companion, Mr. Rio had lived with a companion, it's really helps kind of fill that hole where maybe their former partner once was. Yeah, I got the pools keeping you from stalking me. I kind of like this. Catch up on some more comments here. A couple of your sponsor boys, Paula, Dimitri, and Griffin. I have to admit that Griffin always has a tiger bone to pick with me sometimes, so I'll hang out for a little bit longer. But sometimes I can tell whenever I'm around and I don't have any food, I don't have any enrichment, Griffin can get a little tuned up sometimes, and I don't need to get him out of sorts just because I'm dropping in here. Wendy Howe saying, good morning, TWS family, and my beautiful sponsor girl, Alyssa. We're glad we got to see her across the way. And her handsome companion, Leo. Yes, I see you stalking me. I'll have to keep moving. I know. A little duality of, siblings here. That's Dimitri way back on the platform. Griffin, his brother. And just, how different their kind of characteristics are. Griffin, he's a little bit more forward. He's a little bit more, what are you doing here? What do you have? What are you going to give me? Dimitri, a little more passive, a little more like, hey, there's one of those humans again. Yeah, I'll get something when I need something. But for now, I'm just going to hang out here and watch life go by. Admittedly, I didn't catch a glimpse of Henry and Haley. I was hoping to. Maybe Tarek and Polina will be out and about. I know that we're going to be visiting with the Ukraine Pride on Friday. So, and even better, on Friday, one of the donors who was here this past weekend during Arcadio Town open house event, they brought some watermelons for the Ukraine Pride. So we're going to be seeing them live on Friday, and we're going to be seeing them enjoying some watermelons. You might be able to hear the wet ground below me here. You can also find if Leo and Alyssa kind of resituated here. I do see Polina doing some kind of marching around. Polina can be such a busy tiger sometimes, never to her detriment, but she does like seeing what her neighbors are doing. So I see that she's probably walking along this habitat wall and trying to get to see what Mr. Tiger Noah is doing across the way. She says 2 is always better than 1. She has, of course, Mr. Tarek here, but she's still curious about that other male tiger across the way. Michelle Sanford saying, so beautiful. I love big cats and small. Well, you are in good company, Michelle. I think that's probably the biggest through line about all of the cat lovers here on this live post, and all those who follow and support the Wildcat Sanctuary, is that we love them all, big and small. You bet, I just love, and I think it's just kind of a stamp of approval for some of our staff members and interns, is even when we get a stray domestic cat and we're maybe helping it find a home, or it's just in a little bit of an in-between here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, everyone gets just as excited about that stray domestic cat as they would about meeting a new tiger, meeting a new lion, meeting a new bobcat, what have you. So you're in good company, and that's just a good verification for all of us crazy cat folk. We love them all, big and small. Let's see. Maybe I know that I should say, I know that Thor Jr., we're talking about Wild Woodlands here across the way, I know that Thor Jr. is having some drainage issues in his pool, so our maintenance team has kind of been in and out of that habitat this morning, and I think they're kind of running into town to get some more tools and kind of hardware, and we'll be back. So, this is me thinking out loud that I know Mr. Thor Jr. won't be in his habitat, but maybe we can go say hi to Nova and maybe a dose of Dash, and that can be our live on this Wednesday. Also looking to see if I catch any of the 3 Wild. That'd be Rainier, Tacoma, and Quincy. Kind of a good cougar weather today, admittedly. A little bit cool, kind of cooler on the skin, overcast. Finishing out some rain, very kind of Pacific Northwest feeling. There's some laughing caretakers somewhere around in the sanctuary here. And of course, it's always worth pointing out, but this is, kind of the unfun, unattractive type stuff that at the end of the day, your support is so much appreciated. It's just good old Tiger plumbing happening here. And like I said, Thor's pool was having some trouble draining. And so that's caretaker, or rather Bobby and Jesse, our maintenance and facilities people, getting their hands dirty and making sure that Thor is ready to welcome pool season in full force here. But as always, those little odds and sods, a little maintenance thing, it's just always worth pointing out how essential that is to the day-to-day functions here at the Wildcat Sanctuary and why we appreciate your support. And Miss Nova, she couldn't even wait to get down from her platform to come and stalk me. She's got a little tuft of grass here where you just do such a good job of hiding, You just do such a good job of hiding. You'd give the nicest chuffs, though. Can I kneel down? Thank you. Here's Miss Tiger Nova. And Miss Nova, I can just never get over how, admittedly, I think that you're in competition with Daisy for some of the most beautiful tiger eyes. I think oftentimes I look at tiger eyes here at the sanctuary, and there's two tigers that eyes really stand out to me, and that's Daisy's. You can hold up that tail, but please be gentle. But Miss Daisy's eyes and little Miss Nova's eyes, they kind of have this yellow, if we're kind of starting from the outward in, they kind of have this yellowish that turn into a green that go into this beautiful blue. I'm paling in describing it, but both Nova and Miss Daisy, I think, just have the most beautiful eyes. It is worth pointing out that a tiger like Indy, she almost has brown or amber eyes, so very much kind of different than these girls. Still beautiful in their own right, but when I see those kind of blue, greenish tiger eyes, I do have to take a second to marvel at them. Speaking of who wants to take a second to marvel, Dash looks like he's ready to do some marveling of the cameraman here, but hopefully he does it without getting the cameraman wet. It's a little damp over on this corner, Mr. Handsome. About 75 of you joining today. Happy Wednesday. Glad to have you on this live. Looks like Dash is rather maybe going against the grain. I thought he was going to come over and say hi. He's wanting to hang out with Miss Tiger Indy, who's somewhere across the way there. But nonetheless, happy Wednesday. Glad to have you on this live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Looks like Nova's just as happy, and rightfully so. It's the support of you that make life so sweet for all the rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And talking about one of the things that hit your inboxes today, your email inboxes, on a Wednesday even. Typically our e-newsletters go out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but on this Wednesday, you got a new e-newsletter and highlighted a new merge, a new happy ending for Mr. Rio and Miss Brianna. Rio, an African serval, and Brianna, the bobcat. And you're right, Miss Nova. I guess I'm using you as my kind of prop here. You're right, Nova. It was a lot of kind of musical chairs of trying to see what's going to be the best fit for Brianna. And Brianna actually, Mr. Dashers, I think I'm zoomed in a little here. Brianna, actually, Mr. Dashers, tried with a couple groups. One in particular was Nunda, Phoenix, and Lizzie's group. And they were kind of doing, kind of that dance we all saw in like middle school or high school where, you go to sit down at a lunch table and then all of a sudden they rush to fill those chairs or kind of pulled one of those chairs away. At the end of the day, I think that those cats were getting along pretty, in a civil way. But there really wasn't that kind of connection, and it seemed like ultimately Brianna was being excluded from some of the cuddle puddles that were happening in that group, and them just kind of edging her out. So among maybe a couple disagreements between Brianna and that group, it was kind of just made the decision to see what other options there were for her. And it was, I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the post, and as you probably read in the e-news, it was almost like Cupid was standing there with his arrow locked and loaded and ready to go. The merge between Rio and Brianna was, well, frankly, one of the quicker ones, and that's because they were telling us that it was a sure fit, and it's exciting. Brianna and Mr. Rio, also, as I mentioned, Rio used to live with Bobcat Nico, and Brianna used to live with Bobcat Stelter. So two former cats, or two cats that had former companions, now have a new companion. And it's another wonderful, happy ending here. Yeah, you got mud on your paws at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Goofball. Mr. Goofy. But I did mention Friday, Dash, that we're going to be doing a live with the Ukraine Pride. A wonderful donor brought the Ukraine Pride some melons, some watermelons. 'Tis the season, too. Very summery enrichment. They'll be enjoying on a live Thursday. You can expect a Wildcat wrap up from Tammy if I'm not speaking out of turn. I know it's been a really, really busy week for her, especially with the vet working group that's been here. But I am hoping she does a wrap up so we get to hear more from that and how we got to kind of share knowledge with one another and just make our industry a better and more cohesive place for rescuing these wildcats. But besides that, Mr. Dashers, also worth mentioning, I don't think I've done on a live, is I hope you have checked out our new yearbook. Our uproar, digital uproar, I should say, is featuring a yearbook edition, or rather it is the yearbook edition. So I know that that's also pinned in our e-newsletter, and I hope many of you have had a chance to check that out. Dash is looking for Indy, but maybe she's over hanging out with Daisy. I'm trying to think any other talking points I'm missing, Miss Nova? Chuff. Yes, those are a few talking points. Those are a few. Well, I had a pleasant live today with everyone. Started out with Leo and Alyssa, them enjoying this kind of post-rain spring day. Who else did we see, Miss Nova? Dimitri, Griffin. That was nice to check in on those tiger brothers. A quick little dose of Polina, and then on to visit with some more tigers of Wild Woodlands, like Miss Nova here, and Dash, who we got a good cameo appearance from. So, I want to wish everyone a excellent rest of their Wednesday. Ooh, today is Wednesday, Miss Nova, which means we're going to be posting our wish list, our Chewy wish list, and our Amazon wish list, so please keep an eye out for that. The folks are so great about helping in that wonderful weekly way, Miss Nova, and we appreciate it. But other than that, have a great Wednesday, everyone. We will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary soon. And Miss Nova, I was going to say, any final chuffs? And a chuff goodbye to the lovely Nova. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks again for tuning in.